It's basically like pulling out the fucking Draco on the motherfucker, bro. You pull up to the lane and you start fucking blast. Alright, you just go. Alright, everybody. I'm the Loudest Ninja here, back with another video, and this one's gonna be a little bit different. This video is actually going to be getting sent to Rossboomsocks, the Irishman himself. Not Irish, sorry, Scottish. Jesus Christ. I caught it, alright? I caught it. You know, we're just gonna start this video over. How's it going, everybody? It is the Loudest Ninja here. This is gonna be Calculated Precision Ashe, otherwise known as Cyberbullying Simulator by yours truly. Let's get into it. So, welcome to the calculated fury that is this Ashe build. This build's effectiveness spouts around only one contingency. Go even early in lane. If you get fed, it's even better. This build doesn't take much to get the ball rolling, and going even early almost guarantees you to stomp your opponent. Ashe has a lot of sticking power with her passive slowing everything she hits, along with very good attack speed early game. These two tools are going to be abused the most with this build. For this build, your ability order is going to be pretty situational. Your E grants vision in a line to wherever you place it on the map, and keeps the area it explodes on lit for 5 seconds. However, you don't have to acquire E at level 3 unless you feel the need. I personally say base the level at which you get E on how active the enemy jungler is, right? So if they don't seem active, then I usually put it off until like 5 or 7 just to have it. There have been times where I put it off to like level 12, or I'll just not get it, right? If I'm stomping in lane, I know I'm going to get a gank. There's absolutely no way I'll get it level 5, just because it's like I'm going to need that vision to either escape or to plan how I'm going to get a triple kill out. If their jungler ganks extremely early on, whether it's in your lane or other people's lanes, then I'll likely get it at like level 3 or 4. You're definitely going to want to start W. It's easy poke, applies your passive, which you can use to set up even more autos by abusing your auto attack range. Then you're going to start maxing Q. Q is the backbone of this build, along with the items obviously, but the Q is just loaded with so much stuff to the point where just maximizing that, you will annihilate your enemies very easily. But only get E whenever you feel like you need it, and obviously max it last, right? Ashe's passive prevents her critical strikes from dealing increased damage. This is important. Her critical damage modifier will forever be 0%. Her critical hits will instead increase the potency of her slow applied by her passive. The potency increase of the slow scales with critical rate. All enemies applied with Ashe's passive will take increased damage from Ashe. This also scales with critical rate. At full build, you'll have either 60 or 80% critical rate. The passive slow increase caps at 60%. So basically, like once you hit 60% critical rate, I'm pretty sure that's when your passive slow will increase to 60%, right? And then it doesn't go any higher than that, no matter how high your critical rate goes. The damage increase at 60% crit rate is 155%, which is basically just a 55% damage increase, right? It basically makes your damage 155%. So 80% critical rate, 70% damage increase, and if you were to stray off the build and get 100% critical rate, it is 220% damage increase, or 120% more damage on top of what you already do. I didn't look at 40 or 20%. However, it seems as though the difference is a bit exponential. So like, it goes from 15, like a 15% increase to a 30% increase. So, you know, it's not a flat raise every time. The more critical rate, the bigger the boost, right? Phantom Dancer is the first item we're bidding on this build. Why? Phantom Dancer builds out of 2 long swords and a zeal. The total item price is 2,600 gold, and is 800 gold cheaper than all marksman mythic items. You'll get your power spike sooner. Phantom Dancer applies ghost and movement speed on hit. This allows you to walk through minions, allowing you to turn your opponent into porcupines with utmost ease. Auto attacking stacks 3% attack speed up to 4 times. This, combined with your Q, granting additional attack speed scaling with level, turns your bow into a machine gun. This allows you to rush down the enemy ADC with extreme ease and dodge potential skill shots just as easily. Immortal Shield Bow. At this point, you've likely noticed that you out DPS the enemy ADC already, and when you have ult, you disable them entirely. If they try to fight, they will lose. If they try to run, you're Ashe. There's no escape. This is a personal opinion of mine, but if you build any other mythic item on Ashe that isn't Immortal Shield Bow, you're into it. That's the end of the story. Immortal Shield Bow is a lifeline item, so you can only have one of them. When you fall below 30% of your max HP, you will receive a shield blocking 300 to 800 damage, which scales with level for 3 seconds. Along with 15 to 35 AD, that also scales with level for 8 seconds. Plus, even if you're not completely stopping the lane, you've completely bullied them out of CS, you're going to be if the enemy is smart, they'll probably have constant pressure on you too. So this will also get your team ahead. Obviously, all you have to do is play safe. Your Ashe, they have no engage on you. You stop their entire engage. You press one button, W volley, brrr, everything slow. You just walk away for free. And if you and if you have Phantom Dancer, guess what? You get movement speed away now too. So it's easy, right? Your Q also coincidentally grants lifesteal and attack speed, which a Moto Shield Bow, that's probably one of the best reasons to buy it, for the crit rate, lifesteal, and attack speed. Your Mythic passive also grants 50 max HP and 5 AD per legendary item. This is going to get you even more lifesteal with the AD. It's also going to make you tankier and spankier, right? Because you're doing more AD, you're stealing more health, you have more max health. You can call it the Mortal Cringe Bow all you want, but it's your cringy best friend. Wits End, now that you're an unkillable, fucking unstoppable bow-wielding machine, and the enemy ADC is literally useless, you might feel the need to roam and make your presence known to the rest of the map. It's all fun and games until you run into an AP assassin / caster and get nearly one-shot. If only there was some way to defend against this and not lose DPS. Wits End grants 50 match resist and gives you a fighting chance against those pesky AP champions. It also grants 40 AD, 410s right there, 410s, and 40% attack speed. Wits End's passive, Fray, grants your basic attacks magic damage on hit. It's 15 to 80 magic damage, which goes with level. It also grants you 20% movement speed for 2 seconds on hit. Now, having mixed physical and magic damage, even if it's not a lot of magic damage, tanks will always have difficulty absorbing your damage. You'll always be doing something on top of whatever armor or magic resist they have. And also, unless the enemy has 3+ dashes, they will not escape you. I can tell you right now, if they don't have like 3+ dashes, they die. If you do more damage than your opponent, they die. There's no escape. That's it. End of story. Lord Dominic's regards. Are tanks still giving you a problem? Well, I could fix that. This little crossbow does wonders against the big boys in the league. Funny how a lot of these items are bow themed. Lord Dominic's regards is your go-to tank shred item. Granting 35% armor penetration is no laughing matter. That's like Pantheon's entire passive right there, just in the palm of your hand right. Like it's crazy. This will allow you to demolish any goats or mummies standing in your way, or anybody else who might have a lot of armor or health. The Giant Slayer passive grants 0 to 15% bonus physical damage to a target with more max HP than you. The difference being 2,000 HP is how to get the maximum bonus. So if you have 2,200 HP and your enemy has 4,200 HP, you're doing 15 increased physical damage on top of whatever you're doing like with regular. This won't apply, obviously, to the squishier champions. They're likely going to have either the same amount of HP as you or less, but you're still penetrating any armor that they do have, which with the way armor pin kind of calcs, it basically will set their armor to 0, right? It's crazy. Overall, increasing your DPS. Your Mythic passive will also slightly hinder your Giant Slayer, but it is a minuscule fall off because, I mean, it's 50 HP. I mean, if there's an Ornn sitting in front of you with, like, a lot of HP, I mean, it's still a lot of HP. Choose your own adventure. This is your situational item. You didn't really think I forgot heal cuts? Shame on you. Sometimes you may run into issues that just right-clicking on it won't solve. Here's my advice. Mortal Reminder is a great item for when the enemy takes damage, but then right after they decide that they didn't take damage. It applies a 40% Grievous Wounds on hit. After 3 attacks, the Grievous Wounds is increased to 60%. Its use is obvious, but it also grants critical strike chance, movement speed, attack speed, and AD, and oh wow, another bow-themed item. Kinda crazy. Blade of the Ruined King is another great item for overall increasing your damage output, and having more lifesteal. Its passive, Miss Eds, grants your auto attacks 6% of the current target's HP as bonus AD damage. This is great for even more tank shred, number 1, but it is also grants damage bonus to squishies as well. Its other passive, Siphon, applies after 3 auto attacks. This slows the enemy by 25%, which doesn't actually matter because at this point in the build, your slow is going to be bigger than 25%, especially even without a crit, so that does nothing for you. But it does grant you 25% more movement speed, which movement speed bonuses do stack, slows down. This also deals 40 to 150 magic damage, which scales with your level. So again, more mixed AD and AP damage. It's just going to be a whole lot of fun times for you. Now, Infinity Edge is a wild card item. All right, I put this on here just for the fuck of it. The only reason to build this item on Ashe is for the AD, because it has an insane amount of AD as just an item. Ashe's passive prevents her critical hits from dealing any extra damage. Her critical modifier is still 0% no matter what she does, right? Having higher critical rate, though, allows your passive to do more damage. Blade of the Ruined King is not a crit item, so you're going to be at 60% crit with that item. It still has more DPS than Modal Reminder, but having the higher critical rate, allowing your passive to do more damage, will raise your DPS, but you lose all the utilities of having either Mortal Reminder or Blade of the Ruined King, right? So Mortal Reminder does the least DPS. Blade of the Ruined King has more utility. It doesn't have heal cuts, but it does the second most DPS. Infinity Edge has the most DPS, but you lose all the utilities of the other items because all it is that you're benefiting from it is AD and critical rate. That's it. Berserker's Greaves, I feel like this one doesn't really need an explanation. These boots are the latest in Freljordian fashion, and they are simply Ashe's favorite. Boots grant movement speed. We like movement speed. With slightly magical footwear, guess what? You got even more movement speed. Boots grant attack speed, question mark? Yeah, I don't get it either. We like attack speed though. Congratulations, you just got 35% more attack speed. Build Lord Dominic's after shield bow, like build it earlier than like what's in because they're tanky. Also, if you need heal cuts, build heal cuts again. But here are your runes. Lethal tempo. Did I ever mention attack speed? Presence of mind. I miss mana potions too, even though when I started playing, they weren't even in the game. I still miss them. Legend Alacrity. I don't think I ever mentioned attack speed. I feel like I might have missed that, but I'm just gonna let you know again. Coup de grace or cut down. Again, like a tanky comp if they have a lot of HP. Build a LDR after shield bow. That's just how it goes. Inspiration. Approach velocity for your boots to get even more movement speed. Because I feel like I never really mentioned movement speed in this build. I swear. I never mentioned movement speed, and also approach velocity. When you slow them, guess what? You get even more movement speed. You're a sticky motherfucker that has a stupidly large range for your attacks for no reason. Let's summarize. Slow early game, you hit a massive power spike with Phantom Dancer, and you snowball instantly. Like, when you get Phantom Dancer, it's basically like pulling out the fucking Draco on the motherfucker, bro. You pull up to the lane, and you just start fucking blasting. Alright, you just go blah, 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 and they don't know what to do about it. It is over. And if the enemy ADC so much as walks in my auto attack range, I W, right click on them, and just let go of the mouse, and they die. It's simple as that. I right click on them, let go of the mouse, and then they die. At like level 6 or 7. It's crazy. Great DPS, great sustain, great survivability. You're going to do a lot of damage to squishies. You can entire health bar squishies in like 3 or 4 autos, number one. The sustain is great. You have a lot of health. You have a lot of lifesteal. You also have a good amount of resistances. You're not going to be going down very easily. You also have a lifeline item, which gives you great survivability and even more AD. You are an unstoppable force that won't encounter an unmovable object. Tanks mean nothing to you. Squishies mean nothing to you. AP champions mean significantly less to you than they would usually. But still, unstoppable force. All right. Now this is a little bit about me. If you're making it this far into the then I'm really glad that to see you here. Obviously, in my personal experience playing Ashe in norms and ranked, I have one lane. I mean, it's literally every time. It works every time. Basically, I feel like this is just the best way to go about playing Ashe. Another thing, this build is so powerful that most of the time, before I even get past the Mortal Shield Bow, the enemies just FF. Like, I'll get to, like, the Negatron Cloak for Wit's End, and then the Surrender Vote went through with 4-1 votes, and it's over. Right. I'm currently a Bronze 2 player. I was Bronze 1, and then I got demoted instantly. So, you don't have to take my word completely on this. Feel free to make any changes and updates that might seem better. I've been playing for about 3 years, League of Legends as a game total. I've been maining Ashe for 2.5 years. I've tried this build on all of Ashe's skins, and most potent results, I would say, have come from Woad Ashe and Marauder Ashe. For whatever reason, they just work the best with this build. Doesn't make any sense. Also, having high CC or high damage supports seems to work best because the goal is to just annihilate them the second they come anywhere nearby. Calculated Precision Ashe. I really hope you guys check out the channel. I'm really having fun making videos. I'm really having fun making this build. All right, cool. Thanks. Hey guys, so real quick, I know I forgot to move my face, and I actually forgot to talk about it in the video, but the DPS on this slide at the bottom is pretty much 2,000 to 2,500 DPS on squishies, and 1,300 DPS on tanks with 200 resistances and 5,000 HP. That's all. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm out.